Hey, this is Jim Hoffman from EMS Office Hours, and this is your Monday Minutes. Today, gonna real quick talk about something that a lot of us might already know, but I think it's good to always sort of refresh on this information and kind of keep it in the front of your head. And this topic about converting pounds into kilograms, I think is important. You know, we don't all have built-in calculators. I'm one of those people actually who struggle with math, but knowing the formulas and knowing what I'm looking for makes it a lot easier for me. And those of you out there who also struggle and have issues with drug calculations and things like that, again, much easier to do all this when you've got some formulas you can pull up in your head and make it a little bit easier for you. Now, of course, converting pounds to kilograms, we use that for drug calculations and we use it for documentation when we're documenting on our charts what we feel the patient weighs. Now, of course, we have to guesstimate, right? We have to estimate what it is the patient weighs. A lot of times the patients don't know how much they weigh, or they certainly don't know what they weigh in kilograms. And we certainly are not going to know either. Now, there are times when you are doing interfacility transports where that'll be documented. So if that's the case, you're lucky enough to know what the patient's weight in pounds or kilograms would be. But most of the times we have to estimate, and we have to go by our experiences or even asking the patient what their last known weight was and when that was, and that can even sort of help you estimate a little bit better as well what they weigh. Okay, so the one formula that is common and that you see used a lot is dividing the patient's weight in pounds by 2.2. So 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds, right? So a 170-pound patient divided by that 2.2 is going to equal 77 kilograms. It's actually 77.27, but we're going to round down or up depending upon what that point is, right? So in this case, you know, you're below the 0.5, so you're going to round it down and you'll be at the 77 kilograms, right? So this is kind of an easy way to do it, especially if you have a calculator or something like that available to you. You have a smartphone you can use. You can go ahead and do that, right? Now, here are some examples just so you can see how it works, right? So, you know, 200 pounds divided by the 2.2 is 90. 120 pounds divided by the 2.2 is 54, and so on. Now I put some sort of common weights here that we'll see a lot, and I think if you start at these round numbers, that can also help you when you're doing your calculations, sort of realizing, you know, what, let's say, a 250-pound patient might be in kilograms, or what a 170-pound patient might be in kilograms. Now, the other way that you can do it, which might be a little easier for some people because then you don't have to worry about the 2.2 or the decimals and things like that, is by taking the patient's weight in pounds, dividing it by 2, and then minusing 10%. Now, you got an extra step here, but it can be a little bit easier for you. So let's say you have that same 120-pound patient, you divide it by 2, gives you 60 pounds. If you minus the 10% of that, okay, 10% of the 60 pounds is 6, minus the 6 from the 60 will give you 54 kilograms. And if you think about the previous formula, 120 pounds divided by 2.2 gives you that same 54 kilograms. So divide the patient's weight by 2 and then minus 10% of that value, and that'll give you your kilograms. Here's some examples of that. Again, you're gonna see here, this is the same pretty much formula that we used before, getting the same result. And here's just one more real quick for you as well. Now, some tools you can use, I'm going to put a link in the show notes here on the blog at emsofficehours.com for a pretty good website you can actually put on your smartphone to go and utilize. It'll give you this value. If you have a calculator on your smartphone or a calculator on your charting computer, whatever the case may be, there are tools you can use, of course, to make this much easier. And I encourage you to go ahead and do it. Don't make these calculations any harder than they need to be. If you don't have a calculator available, or you don't have a smartphone available, or a cell phone with a calculator, of course, you can always just use your head and do the formulas like I mentioned. Especially the 10% formula, I think that most people can do that quick division and percentage pretty quickly in their head to get a pretty good idea close to what a patient's actual kilograms are. So be sure to use those tools. Guys, if you have some tools of your own, be sure to let me know, and I'll put them in the show notes as well. And then really, guys, if you're looking for an all-in-one study resource or training resource that you can use to pass exams, to help you with things like drug calculations, audios and videos that are on pretty much every topic or subtopic you're going to see in EMS, I encourage you to go over to turbomedic.com, check out the premium membership there, and join us there, either the free or a premium member. Actually, if you go to turbomedic.com right now, I am giving away a report on EMS study bullets, which is a pretty cool report, going over everything about Turbomedic, but it also has some pretty good high points and key areas that you're going to see on EMS exams. You can go to turbomedic.com and sign up for that and get access to that. But if you're ready for a premium membership, you're ready to get right into it, go over there, go to the join button, and join me over at turbomedic.com. Again, guys, if you have some comments, concerns, some suggestions, or some tips or tools that you use in the topic I discussed today, be sure to send it over to me. My address is jhoffman@ems-safety.com. Until next week, as always, stay safe.